Sometimes pranks start with the intention of being funny, but end up going too far. From a simple scare to something completely unexpected, there are some that really cross the line. If you think you've seen everything on the internet, know that there are even more stupid things to surprise you. And that's exactly what you're going to see here today. So go ahead and leave your like, click the subscribe button below, and let's go. Some pranks cross the line, and Mizzy, a TikToker from the United Kingdom, found that out the worst way possible. At 19 years old, the influencer ended up behind bars after violating a court order that forbade him from posting videos without the consent of the people involved. The reason? He loved to pull invasive, clueless pranks, including one in which he entered a family's home uninvited. It all began when Mizzy, whose real name is Bakari Bronze Ogaro, decided to film a video in which he simply walks into strangers' houses, accompanied by two friends. He pretends he's looking for a study group, but instead of leaving when the homeowner asks him to, he even has the nerve to sit on the couch and record the moment. You can imagine the residents' shock, right?
Is this where the study group is?
No. No.
What door number is this?
No.
Study group.
The prank backfired badly. Mizzy faced legal action and received an order prohibiting him from posting videos without authorization from those featured, but he didn't respect the ruling and kept producing content. The result? A sentence of 18 weeks in a youth offender institution and a ban from social media for 2 years. That means no TikTok, no Instagram, nothing. The presiding judge, Matthew Bone, had no patience for the influencer's excuses. According to him, the pranks were not funny and served only one purpose: to draw attention in order to get money and designer clothes through sponsorships. For Mizzy, the strategy worked for a while, but now he'll need to rethink his content. This case serves as a warning about the limits of online entertainment. What seems like a harmless joke can cause fear and put others in danger. In the end, Mizzy learned the hardest way that not everything is worth the views and engagement. Horror pranks always guarantee screams and scares, but this one had a totally unexpected reaction. It all started with a classic trick. Some people were placed in front of a mirror to fix their hair or check their outfit with no idea of what was about to happen. While they adjusted themselves, a shadowy figure of a woman would appear in the reflection. She showed up for only a few seconds and then vanished, leaving the victims confused and creeped out. But the real terror was yet to come. Before they could recover from the first scare, a frightening nun appeared out of nowhere right beside them. Panic was instant. Some people screamed and ran off without looking back. Others froze, not knowing what to do. But there was one man who simply did not react as expected, and his response surprised everyone. When he turned and came face to face with the macabre nun, he didn't hesitate. He grabbed his bottle and hurled it at the actress's head with all his might. The impact was so strong that the woman dropped her character entirely, completely forgetting she was supposed to be a ghost. When the man realized he had just hit a real person and not a spirit from beyond, he regretted it. Not knowing how to fix the situation, he ran to the actress, hugged her, and began apologizing non-stop. The tension quickly turned into laughter, and even the nun played along, saying she loved his reaction. In the end, the prank worked perfectly, but nobody expected the ghost to get a bottle to the head. This time, both sides got a scare, proving that sometimes fear can end up hurting even the phantom. Some pranks are so absurd that instead of laughs, they spark real chaos. It all started with a man calmly withdrawing cash from an ATM, expecting nothing out of the ordinary. Then out of nowhere, the prankster appeared, slipped up behind him, and without warning, took him down to the ground. The man, of course, was completely surprised and terrified and had no time to react before 3 other men nearby surrounded him. Seeing what looked like an assault, they immediately jumped on the prankster, unaware that it was all a joke. Within seconds, one of them landed a heavy punch right on the prankster's nose.
Fuck. Jesus. Get the fuck off. Get off me. Fuck. Jesus.
The situation turned tense quickly, and the prank actor, already with a sore nose and utterly embarrassed, had to explain that it was all just a joke. He tried to justify it was only a prank, but of course it was too late. The damage was done. In the end, it became clear that not every prank is worth it, and messing with random people without knowing how they'll react can easily go too far. At least the prankster learned the hard way that sometimes it's best to think twice before pulling such a stupid idea. The bomb prank became quite famous on the internet, becoming one of the most controversial and dangerous in recent years. A man dressed in traditional Arabic clothing would walk through various public places carrying a backpack. Suddenly he'd stop, toss the bag near unsuspecting people, and then run off, leaving everyone in total panic. The goal? To make people think he had left a bomb there, creating a full terror scenario. The scene played out in multiple public settings: cafes, parks, restaurants, and sidewalks. The man would appear out of nowhere, toss the backpack, and flee quickly, and bystanders' reactions were almost always the same: utter panic. Pedestrians seeing the abandoned bag would instantly run, some screaming, others looking back in search of imminent danger. Tension took over the environment as everyone backed away in fear of a potential threat. This prank, of course, made people as desperate as if they were really facing a dangerous situation. Furthermore, it played on a dangerous stigma. The mere fact of a man wearing Arabic-style clothing made people associate the scene with a terrorist attack. The video spread rapidly across social media, racking up millions of views and sparking controversy. While some found the situation funny, others criticized the irresponsibility of the idea. After all, nobody wants to be subjected to that kind of panic for a joke. In the end, it became clear that although this prank was a viral success, it was a classic example of how the line between fun and irresponsibility can be very thin. This prank, besides being funny, had a touch of justice. The idea was simple but ingenious. A backpack containing a laptop was placed strategically and tied to a lamppost, as if someone had forgotten it there. Soon enough, opportunistic thieves would pass by, see the unguarded bag, and not hesitate to snatch it. The thieves' plan was straightforward: grab the backpack and run away as a quick, easy robbery. But what they didn't expect was that the bag was tied by a rope to the post. When they tried to dash off with it, the rope pulled them back. As they attempted to run, they were yanked backward and ended up tumbling to the ground in a hilarious collapse. Left baffled by what had happened, the thieves were left embarrassed and learned an important lesson: don't touch other people's belongings. This prank quickly went viral online, generating laughs and many comments. What seemed like an easy theft turned into a spectacular fall. Who would have thought that a rope tied to a lamppost could be the best defender of justice? Some people really look for trouble, and one YouTuber got exactly what he deserved. In search of an outrageous idea to get views, he decided to jump over a police officer sitting calmly on a bench with his partner in a plaza. The plan was clearly meant as a prank, something he thought would be funny, but he was far from realizing he was crossing a very thin line.
What?
The officer, of course, did not appreciate the unexpected approach and firmly informed him that if he repeated the act, he and his partner would have to arrest him. Up until that point, it seemed the young man understood his mistake and would give up. But the situation escalated further when the officers realized he was recording everything. That's when things really got serious. The police said that because of the recording, they would have to take more severe measures. What did the YouTuber do? He tried to run. Yes, he thought the best solution was to flee, but he wasn't fast enough. In a swift move, the officers caught up with him, detained him on the spot, and, adding to his embarrassment, handcuffed him in front of several onlookers. What started as an innocent joke turned into a nightmare for the YouTuber, who not only lost control of the situation, but also had to face the consequences of messing with authority. Sometimes trying to be funny can cost you a few days behind bars, and this young man certainly learned his lesson the hard way. Some folks can't pass up an opportunity to take advantage, right? This prank was designed to teach those guys who like to exploit a situation a lesson. The setup was simple. A woman wearing a very short dress stopped some men on the street and asked for help holding a ladder. According to her, her child's ball had fallen onto a rooftop and she needed to climb up to retrieve it. Of course, the gentleman didn't hesitate for a second. After all, holding the ladder gave them a prime view of the woman climbing. But their fun ended quickly when, out of nowhere, an angry man showed up pretending to be the woman's husband. The scare became even worse when the woman herself looked at the helper and said she didn't know that man and had never asked anyone for help. That was enough for the husband to lose his temper and charge at the unsuspecting men. They tried to explain, but it was too late. The only escape: run for your life. prank claimed 3 victims, who went from smug to panicked in seconds. Some even tried to argue they were just helping, but in the heat of the moment, who was listening? The scare was big, but at least it gave viewers a good laugh. Well, the lesson is clear. If a woman in a short dress asks you to hold a ladder, just walk away before the husband appears. Italo Senna is undoubtedly one of the biggest Brazilian YouTubers when it comes to pranks. He has pulled many stunts over the years, but one of the funniest and most confusing involved a simple bump and a swap of roles. The scene was calm. A man and a woman approached people in public places asking for directions to a certain location. Everything seemed normal until the prank really began. While the duo was in character, Italo appeared walking with crutches as if recovering from an accident. He casually bumped into the man. The result? Both fell to the ground. What nobody expected was what happened next. Upon getting up, the man grabbed Italo's crutches and without thinking twice, started walking away with them, while Italo stood there suddenly without crutches but standing beside the woman as if he had swapped roles with the man. The confusion was instant.
Minha muleta, bicho. Foi mal aí, velho. Foi mal, velho.
Tá bem?
Tô. Quebrou foi tudo ali a muleta do cara.
The victims, who had been calmly helping with directions, didn't know what to do or how to react. How had the man taken the crutches and walked away? How was Italo now standing next to the woman as if he were her boyfriend? What followed was a hilarious moment of total disorientation from the victims, who were utterly bewildered. Some still tried to help, others began to laugh, and some simply stared at the two, unable to believe what they were seeing. The people's reactions were the highlight of the video, showing that when a prank is done with just the right mix of confusion and harmless humor, even the simplest situations can generate incredible laughs. And as always, Italo Senna's talent for creating unexpected scenarios was once again proven. You know those pranks that make you think someone really got hurt? One of those happened in a snack bar, and the actor at the center of it nearly gave everyone a heart attack. The scene seemed simple. A man sat calmly on a chair just like anyone would, until suddenly the chair broke in a terrifying way, and worse, it looked like the metal chair leg had impaled the actor's body, giving the impression of something truly serious, if you know what I mean. Bystanders, completely unaware, panicked as they watched the scene unfold before their eyes, not knowing what to do. After all, nobody expected something as ordinary as a chair breaking to cause so much commotion. But of course, not everything was as it seemed. The chair was fake and engineered precisely for this kind of prank. The metal that appeared to be stuck in the actor was movable, so it caused no injury. The actor was unharmed, and the stunt was entirely staged to look as real as possible, but without any risk to his safety. However, even though it was a joke, it is worth remembering that accidents like this can actually happen, so it's wise to be cautious when sitting on any chair. Have you ever been hit on in public? That's what happened to several men in a prank involving couples on an escalator. The couples were descending normally when a beautiful woman ascended. During the ride, she would gently touch the men and flirt with them subtly, which caused some awkward moments.
Hey, I like your brows.
The women who were with their boyfriends quickly realized what was happening and became extremely upset. Some didn't hesitate to chase after the woman to confront her, making it clear they were not happy with the situation. But the funniest part was the men's reactions. Instead of feeling uncomfortable or moving away quickly, many enjoyed the attention and continued trying to maintain eye contact with the woman, oblivious to the tense atmosphere around them. This only made their girlfriends more frustrated, who were left even more annoyed when they saw what was happening. Thus, throughout the prank, reactions varied. Some women simply ignored the flirting, others became furious, and surely some were already thinking of sending their boyfriends to the couch afterward. Meanwhile, the men, not fully understanding the mess they were in, kept smiling and enjoying themselves. This is one of those pranks that, even after you reveal it was just a joke, can leave a bitter atmosphere because of many boyfriends' attitudes. How many do you think ended up single after this? Don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.